All right, everybody, good morning. This is Faith Biker taking the 14 Harley Davidson Fat Bob out for a spin. There's been a postponement. I know in my last couple of vlogs I said I was going to the lake, but the pier that they built to look at, to view the destruction of the hurricane that hit, that tore up the bridge, that's closed until March 7th, I think. My girl told me that was closed until March 7th. So we'll just take a ride, show you all a little bit about the town and everything like that, and a wonderful town I live in. With that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off, and I'll see y'all as I get back on the old interstate. Well, hello everybody. Like I told people in my last vlog, my channel name is Faith Biker, and I talk about my faith from time to time. And if anybody's not interested in listening to the faith of the Lord Jesus, they probably won't enjoy this channel. But you know, there's one thing I was thinking about. It's kind of funny, you know. The Bible is such a serious book, but it also has some really humorous things about it. God has a sense of humor. I don't know if anybody remembers the story where Jesus and his disciples were going to town to town, and they came across a town called Sychar, and Jesus was tired from the long journey. And his disciples went into town to buy some food to eat, and Jesus sat on the well. It was called Jacob's well. And here comes the Samaritan woman. And if anybody knows anything about the Bible, the Jews looked down on the Samaritan. They were considered a lower class of people, and they didn't associate with them or talk to them or anything like that. And the Samaritan woman was drawing her water, and Jesus was sitting there on the well, and Jesus asked her, he says, give me a cup of water. And the lady says, well, what are you doing, you being a Jew, ask me, a Samaritan woman, for a cup of water? You Jews have nothing to do with the Samaritans. And the lady said, you don't have a bucket or a rope, and the well is deep. And Jesus said, if memory serves me right, Jesus said something to the equivalent of, if you only knew who was asking you for a cup of water, I would give you living water, where you wouldn't. And she replied, well, where do I get this living water from? And because Jesus told her that this living water, meaning salvation, you'll never get thirsty again. The water she drinks out of the well, she'll get thirsty again. And Jesus, and she goes, well, how do I get this living water? And Jesus tells her, you know, she immediately tries to change the subject, and she goes, well, you know, the Jews pray on Mount Zion in Jerusalem, and us Samaritans pray on a different mountain. And Jesus says something like, woman, if you only knew who you were talking to. And Jesus kind of changed the subject and said, go get your husband. And of course Jesus knew her whole life story, him being omniscient and all-knowing. And the lady goes, well, I don't have a husband. And Jesus goes, well, you're right when you say you don't have a husband. You've had 5 husbands, and the one you're living with is not even your husband. So it's not expressed, but it's implied that the woman was a very promiscuous type of woman. She's, for lack of a better term, she's been around the block a few times. And when Jesus told her that, she goes, you must be a prophet. And she goes, well, I know when the Messiah comes, he'll tell us everything. And Jesus looked at her and said, I am the Messiah. And she immediately dropped her bucket and ran back to her town, leaving her bucket of water there. And she was telling everybody when she came back into her town, come see a man that told me everything I ever did. And she just was going all around town telling everybody to come meet this person that told me everything I ever did. The funny thing about it is, can you imagine how many nervous men, some married men that may have had an affair with her, and how many nervous men when she went into town and said, come meet a man that told me everything I ever did. I thought that was kind of funny. And of course, a lot of people were saved. She brought back half the town, and Jesus stayed with them. They invited Jesus to stay with them in the town, I think for like 2 or 3 days, if memory serves me right. But I thought that was kind of funny, that how nervous the men in the town must have thought. And through that sinful woman, Samaritan woman, half the town got saved just from that one unsaved woman, Samaritan woman. It's amazing how the Lord works, and how He goes about to approach the topic of salvation. He takes many routes to that point. But that's just the story of the day. It's kind of funny. It's very, very serious, because of course it was God. Jesus wasn't interested in her getting a cup of water from her. That was just an icebreaker to talk about salvation. And of course, Jesus said, you Samaritans know very little about the God you worship, but we Jews know all about our God, because salvation comes from the Jews. That's why I am a big supporter of the nation Israel and the Jews, because they are God's chosen people. I just been there about 1.5 years ago. I just got back from Israel, and it's wonderful. But that's the story for today, the Bible story for today. Next week we'll have another story. Now, this is the old interstate. I forgot what the interstate's called, but if anybody remembers an old 1950s movie star, she was proclaimed to be the second Marilyn Monroe. That's what she was proclaimed to be, the second. Her name was Jayne Mansfield. I don't know if anybody remembers her, but she was a up-and-coming movie star, and she was very, 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 very beautiful. A very beautiful woman. And she passed away on this road. She was coming through here. She had a engagement in the city, I believe. She came. This was the old interstate that you took from north to south to the city, and she passed away on this road, unfortunately. And her career was just starting to take off. It was a sad story. I don't know the details of the car wreck or anything like that, but she was the up-and-coming Hollywood star. She kind of resembled Marilyn Monroe a little. She had the blonde hair and the figure of the nice figure that comes along with being a movie star. But she passed away on this interstate. Up here, it turns into a different interstate, and this is where she passed away. I don't know if the interstate was named something else. This happened long, way before my time. But I thought y'all would find that interesting. Again, the pier on the lake is closed. My girl told me that, so we can't go to the lake. But that'll be another thing for another day. But it's beautiful weather here. It's probably in the 50s, 60s, and springtime is quickly coming. It is quickly coming, and I can't wait for it. I'm gonna do a lot of riding this summer. A lot of riding. I've only got 1,500 miles on my bike, It's it's 2 years old, and it's a 14 model. And with that being said, I'll leave y'all. I don't know the exact spot where Jayne Mansfield had the car accident, but it was somewhere along this road, the road coming up here, and it was probably called a different interstate at the time. But I thought that some of y'all old timers may know who Jayne Mansfield was. But with that being said, I'll check out for right now, and God bless you, and God bless everybody. May the Lord be with you, each and every one of y'all.